not be familiar with the name TAQA, but if you live in Abu Dhabi, have visited Abu Dhabi, or of course, or even have just stayed there for an hour or so, you've basically interacted with us. How do you get this one going? Green arrow? All right. So we are the integrated utility of Abu Dhabi. That brings with it a number of benefits. To begin with, we are the exclusive transmission and distribution company for Abu Dhabi, as well as the exclusive transmission company for Northern Emirates, excluding Dubai. We have 4 business lines: transmission, distribution, starting with generation, moving into transmission, moving into distribution, water treatment, wastewater treatment, as well as oil and gas. Oil and gas may seem a little bit of an unusual fit here. That's because TAQA has existed since 2005, and the legacy TAQA was a mix of generation and oil and gas, which has now evolved into a fully integrated utility company. We have the right of first refusal of any new EVEC projects that come into the country, meaning anything that Abu Dhabi sets up new in terms of generation, we have the right of first refusal for a minimum 40% stake in the company. We are spread across 23 countries, so again, a global platform based out of Abu Dhabi. In terms of numbers, we were about $11 billion in revenues for the first 9 months, about 4.5 in terms of EBITDA. We've maintained a very healthy 40% plus EBITDA margin throughout the last several years. Our free cash flow to EBITDA conversions may seem a little smaller here. Our general free cash flow to EBITDA conversion is around 70%. We've had some very significant discretionary investments we've made in this year, which have dragged that number down a bit. We are rated AA3 by Moody's, AA by Fitch. AA essentially means we're in line with the sovereign. We are also quite unique in terms of our dividend policy. In fact, we were the first to start quarterly dividends in the UAE. Our dividend policy is divided into 2 parts. We have fixed dividends coming from the utilities business, which is set across the 2023 to 2025 period. And then we have a discretionary portion, which is based on profitability from the oil and gas business at the end of each year. ESG is very much a part and parcel of how we do business. As you can imagine, with the UAE looking at net zero target, we are an important component of that. We have recently been upgraded to A by MSCI. That comes from CCC, as low as CCC in 2020. So a very significant move that we've done. This is both a testament to the strategy we've adopted for ESG, as well as a significant improvement in disclosures and market engagement we've been doing over the last few years. We also are unique in terms of we're one of the few companies in this sector that has an absolute emissions reduction target. So we are targeting an absolute emissions reduction scope 1 and 2 by 25% between the 2019 baseline and 2030 target line. We've also commenced scope 3 disclosure, which again is relatively limited in this part of the world, as you know. The company has extremely aggressive growth plans, which it is implementing right now. Today, we stand at about 50 gigawatts of capacity. We are looking to triple that by 2030. This is truly a global platform that we're building out. Of course, anything that happens in Abu Dhabi, in the Northern Emirates, we're a part and parcel of, but also a very much growing global footprint. We are also, by the time we're done with this, implementing this strategy, about 2/3 of the portfolio will be renewable. We're also making a significant investment in the water business in the UAE in particular, and growing globally again, footprint as well. What you see here, as you can see from the chart, bottom left chart, is that the capacity is not expected to change for water generation, but what is going to change is the shift from what is currently the shift towards reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is effectively the renewable way of generating water or desalinating water than you see today. This growth plan entails a very significant investment of about 75 billion dirhams, or let's call it $20 billion or so. About 40 billion dirhams is going to go into transmission and distribution, while the rest is going into generation. If you look at the donut chart at the bottom right, that gives you a split of how we expect to spend this 35 billion dirhams. A little over half of this will go into our subsidiary Masdar. You may be familiar with it. It is the renewable champion of Abu Dhabi. All renewable investments, whether inside the country or outside, being done on Abu Dhabi is being driven by Masdar. The remaining is going to be split between our own conventional power generation, a lot of it, again, focused outside the UAE, or expected to be focused outside the UAE, and very significant investment on water generation, water desalination. To sum up the investment case for TAQA, so we are one of the largest listed utility companies in the EMEA region. We are, in fact, the third largest stock in the GCC region today. We are vertically integrated and across the entire value chain, much more so with the wastewater treatment joining our business earlier this year. We have a highly predictable and secure cash flow. So over 85% of our EBITDA is effectively coming in from either contracted, meaning PPAs in place for generation plants. These are typically 25, 30-year contracts, or regulated, which are essentially our transmission and distribution assets, where the regulatory framework sets how we're going to get paid with a very clear visibility on the underlying structure. We have a long-standing, transparent regulatory framework we've been operating in. PPAs, as you know, are very common across the globe, so very, very well-versed, more than 2 decades of dealing with them. Whereas for the regulatory side, on the transmission and distribution side, again, it's been something tried, tested, well-run that we're dealing with. We have strong ties with Abu Dhabi. Of course, being 90% owned by ADQ plays a significant role in that. We are very much part and parcel of the 2030 economic vision. And as far as the UAE Net Zero target is concerned, I would say we're not just an important part of it, but an important driver of it, given our role in the power sector. So thank you very much for listening to me.